Hi, my name's Aiden.
And I'm Jake.
And welcome to History and Haunts. Hello, and welcome back to History and Haunts.
History and Haunts.
We took a little break last week.
Yep. More so, we just literally did not have the time.
No, we were really busy.
Last week was a very busy schedule.
I don't even know why. We didn't even really do that much.
Well, it's just because our schedules didn't line up, you know?
Not at all.
People know, like if you guys are together with somebody and your schedules don't line up, nothing gets done, It's just a pain.
No, I even had to grocery shop by myself.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And then we had like one opportunity when you got home from work one night to record it, and it was just not happening.
No, I was tired. You were tired. We were both tired. And last week we drove all the way to Sarasota. That took up like a whole day.
Yep, that took a while.
But here we are, back for more.
Ready to learn about whatever the hell it is we're learning about this week.
Today we are learning about the Loftus Hall, which is in Ireland, and it's been dubbed Ireland's most haunted house.
Has it really?
It has been.
Interesting.
Which it's funny because like the hauntings here are pretty minute, and so it's a lot of like, is this legend or is it real? So I don't know. Maybe Ireland definitely has a lot of haunted places. I think this one just gets called that because the devil's involved.
Yeah. No, that's not very good. 666, so shit like that. Was that 666? Isn't that the devil?
Yeah, but that was in the other episode. It was on 666 acres of land.
For what was that?
For the asylum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Also, the land that Loftus Hall is on has had a terrible history as well, which is possibly adding to why this place is haunted. It's seen a lot of invasions. It's seen famine, plagues, personal tragedies for the families that have owned it, and lots of death. There's 800 years of history on this land.
Jeez.
I know. That's a lot of history. Like 1200 AD. Well, a little later than that. But essentially, that's 800 years ago.
You mean 800 years of history was about 800 years ago?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Locals believe that it goes back to when the Druids were around, and the land served as like a sacred place for worship. Which we found that in another episode.
I was going to say, that's a pretty common theme, I feel like. When religion's involved, things just get crazy.
Like with the abbey that we covered.
Yeah. Oh my God, was that episode 2?
That was episode 2.
The most boring episode I've
ever
heard.
Yes, the most boring episode.
I literally was wanting to fall asleep so bad.
Don't worry, this one is much more interesting, I think.
But trust me, it can't get any worse than episode 2.
Yeah, but they had the Druids around too, supposedly. The first recorded history here is in 1170 AD. Then, at this time, Raymond Fitzgerald, he landed at Baginbun Head in the Hook Peninsula. Raymond Fitzgerald was also known as Raymond Legroy, and he was very, very influential. He was so influential that, in fact, the common surname Redmond originates from him.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Imagine having a whole surname after you. What would a surname be from your name, Jake?
What?
Like if
you just want everybody to know my personal information?
We say our names every episode. Everyone already knows your name. But if we made a surname out of the name Jake, what would it be?
Jaquez.
Isn't that a first name?
Yeah.
But a last name. I want a last name with the word Jake. Maybe your name just isn't meant to be a last name.
Jackson.
Is that a last name? Yep. Andrew Jackson? Yeah, that's a last name.
Andrew Jackson.
Okay, alright. What about Aiden? It's okay. I don't know. But neither of us will ever be influential enough, I don't think, to get a whole surname.
No, I don't care.
Especially since I don't plan on having kids. So there's no one to pass it along to. So, back to Raymond. He was part of the very first band of Norman knights that came to Ireland. The Norman knights were warriors who fought on horseback for the Viking group that settled in Normandy, and they originated in the 900s.
Honestly, I'm so sick of history from like that far back in the day. Like, that is like no like relevancy to me. You know, it's like 900. What'd you say? AD?
900 AD.
When the hell was that? When was that?
A long time ago. I would love to like.
You can't find no like history from like 1980. You know,
That's not history yet. That was like 50 years ago.
We're making history now. History is being made now.
Yeah, but there's not hauntings.
Like, look at the Ukraine war. You know, that'll go down in history.
It will.
And guess what? You know, we're part of it because, like, what the hell is America doing?
I don't know.
Trying to get good health insurance.
Oh my God. Oh dear. Anyway, I would love to trace my like ancestry all the way back to the 900s. How cool would that be?
Honestly, I was about to shit on you, but I would actually like to see that myself.
We need to do a DNA test on you with Ancestry.com.
Yeah, I mean, they have people
Ancestry, sponsor us, please.
Oh my God, I'm over you.
Anyway, it'd be so cool to be like, oh my God, I'm related to King Louis VII or something. I don't know.
Is that a real person?
I mean, there's a King Louis. Is there a seventh one? I don't know. Probably because they just kept naming each other the same thing and adding a number.
Sorry, you just rubbed your eyes for like 45 seconds straight. I've never seen that in a human before.
My eye was burning. I don't know why.
And I see a lot of crackheads, and none of them have ever done that for that long.
Listen, I'm on a special kind of drug, and it's called life.
This is my last podcast with her.
No, it's not. Back to Raymond. Oh my gosh, before we get back to Raymond, should we tell them the story from today?
No.
We have to tell you guys the story from today. I'm sorry. We're in a very funny, goofy mood, I think. So
I'm not. She is. I am very much so not.
I am in a very funny, goofy mood. And since I am the one that narrates this podcast, it may be a little bit all over the place today. But anyway, we got to tell him the story. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start and then he'll say his part. So we were driving in the car, right? We pulled up at the stop sign. Or a red light, I guess. And we look at this car and there's this lady just on her phone. And I was like, man, I should roll the window down and yell at her and say, get off your phone. But then I didn't.
Yeah, I told her to do it. And
then I didn't.
Whip.
Yeah, just a little bit. Anyway, she gets off her phone. It's like she sensed it. But then we drive and we're at another red light. And we look over and this man.
There's a Jeep that's like, it was made in like 1987.
This man's on oxygen.
He's got an oxygen tube hooked up so that he can live life. He can breathe air.
And he is just over there, two hands, scrolling on the phone.
Scrolling on his phone. And I was like, should I yell at that guy?
And I'm like, yeah, but then I'm like, no, wait.
So I roll the window down. And she said, wait a second. And she rolls the window up. And I stop at about a crack, right? and I cut my hands and I yell, get off of your phone! and
looks up. It was obnoxiously loud, guys. It was the loudest scream.
I've never screamed that loud in my life. But I was telling her too on the way, I was like, I feel like yelling at somebody to get off their phone.
And he did.
I did.
So after he yells, we rolled up the window and the man looks over at us and we're just dying of laughter.
You know what though?
Cackling. Guess what he did though?
He turned his phone off
and set it down.
And he started shaking his head and he looked over at me and
we just kept laughing.
I'm blood red in the face, just slapping my thigh. And he drives off and we're just pointing and laughing at him.
It was amazing, guys. Probably like top 10 moments in my life. I wish we had recorded it because it could have gone viral.
I'll do it again.
And people deserve to see that.
I'll do it again.
I think I would do it as well again.
And maybe. Honestly, I hope I inspire any of you to do it as well because at this day and age, people don't need to be on their cell phones, you know? And
not at the car.
Honestly, if somebody did that to me and I was on my cell phone, I would just start laughing. I'd be like, all right, you got me, but this guy, we just got added to a list somewhere,
Yeah, he's coming to get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you know what texting or being on your phone does?
It distracts you,
and that's how you kill people.
And I've seen the worst of what can happen to people who are texting on their phone and end up getting into an accident. People lose their lives every day, and it makes me so angry. I feel as though I'm a pretty passionate guy about not being a distracted driver, because it ruins innocent people's lives, because you just can't drive in a vehicle without some sort of
phone.
dopamine. You gotta have some all the time. Everyone's a bunch of crackheads these days.
Oh my god. Anyway, moral of the story: don't text and drive, or we may come around and yell at you to get off your phone.
Yep.
Back to Raymond. In the 1100s, the Norman Knights were who came to Ireland, and they were part of the Anglo-Norman invasion. So that's what Raymond Fitzgerald was doing, basically. He was the commander of 2 ships. He was the right-hand man to Strongbow. He led forces that captured Waterford and Dublin City, and he fought in a campaign to seize Dublin City in the 1170s. Now, Strongbow, he was like a really powerful Norman lord who came to Ireland in 1170 in order to help capture Dublin and Waterford. Other landings in Ireland were actually led by Strongbow, whose full name was Earl of Pembroke Richard de Clare. Raymond, he wanted to marry Strongbow's sister, but was denied initially. I don't know why.
It's a while back in the day. You just couldn't marry whoever you wanted.
No, you had to be approved by family. You had to pay a dowry.
Yeah.
All that shit. However, Strongbow was under siege, and Raymond decided to help. Was it out of the goodness of his heart, or was he trying to just get with Strongbow's sister? We'll never know. But he rescued Strongbow during this siege and was rewarded with the title Constable of Leinster. I probably said that wrong. Leinster.
Close enough.
Because Raymond rescued Strongbow, Strongbow was like, you know what? You can marry my sister now. And he gave him permission. So in the end, Raymond got what he wanted. During the attacks, Raymond gained a little land and he built a castle called Houseland Castle. The family actually lived here for centuries, but the castle fell into disrepair. In 1350, there was a new castle built by Raymond's descendants, and it was named the Hall or Redmond Hall. How cool is it to have land that your family's lived on for centuries?
I wish I was born into it, man.
It'd be so cool. Just my ancestors walked on this land. I mean, maybe my ancestors walked on this land, but to know that we all owned it, that's just so cool.
Know. My family went bankrupt when I was 2 years old, and we moved to 8 different homes by the time I was 15. So,
okay,
I got nothing for you there. No relation. Continue.
Back to the story. The family held on to the hall for about 300 more years. But then during the 1600s, there were the Irish Confederate Wars that were going on, and the castle was attacked multiple times. The Irish Confederate Wars are also known as the 11 Years' War, and it's a series of conflicts that took place and were part of conflicts that...
Okay.
I don't know what the hell this sentence says, guys. I don't know what I was writing. But basically, the Irish Confederate Wars, also known as the 11 Years' War, were just conflicts that were part of another conflict that were part of this war called the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. Basically, you know those nesting dolls? Do you know those?
Sorry, I was just yawning for 8 seconds. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh my god. Anyway, guys, you know the nesting dolls where you take the head off of the one and there's more dolls in there?
I do know those, yes.
Yeah, that's what this was like. Conflict inside of conflict inside of conflict inside of war. But it was a series of civil wars between England and Scotland and Ireland, and because England's just always being an asshole trying to take over places. So
you mean Germany?
Yes, Germany did that too.
Not Germany's the bullies here.
Yes, but did Germany even exist back in the 1100s? or 1300s, whenever this was, the 1600s.
Wasn't like America founded in like 1692?
1776. That's when the
That was
Declaration
when the
of
Declaration of
Independence.
Independence was signed. But when the American land was discovered, wasn't that 1692?
In 1492,
1492.
Columbus sailed the
Shit.
ocean blue. It was a courageous thing to do.
Okay.
But somebody was already here. The
And
war.
we raped and killed their children and family members.
We did. It was terrible. Anyway, this war was also terrible because it was very brutal, and it resulted in the slaughtering of women and children with absolutely no mercy from the Catholics. The land and the castle was actually seized as part of the Cromwellian confiscations. So the Redmond family, they tried really hard to keep their land, keep their castle, but they were unsuccessful. On July 20th in 1642, 68-year-old Alexander Redmond protected the hall from 90 invaders with the help of only 2 sons, some tenants, 2 soldiers, and a tailor. So what a strong man.
Yeah. Well, let's say you're trying to, storm a castle with 90 men back in the day. You just funnel them in. There's only 2 ways into the castle.
Yeah, I
just
guess.
Sit there and wait for them to come in.
Yeah, I just thought that was very impressive.
That's very impressive, yeah.
Unfortunately, it suffered several more attacks, but they did end up on favorable terms with the Cromwells and were able to stay on the land for a little bit. However, when Alexander died, the family was evicted and the home was auctioned off.
Oh, wow.
In 1666, Henry Loftus bought the lands and renamed it the Loftus Hall. The hall was home to many high-ranking people, and the family actually had a goal for Queen Victoria to visit. So they spent a lot, and they did massive renovations in 1870 to 1879. These renovations were led by John Henry Loftus in order to try to get the home, I guess, better for Queen Victoria. It is said that all of the original hall was demolished, but there is some evidence that it still remains and was just kind of worked into the current version. The hall was beautifully redone for Queen Victoria. There were 3 stories to this place. There was grand staircases. This is really cool. You ready?
Let's hear it.
This staircase is said to be one of 3 identical staircases. One is in the Vatican City, one is in the Titanic, so in the ocean now.
What?
And the other is in this hall, Loftus Hall.
That's very cool.
I know. I'm going to have to look up a picture of like all those staircases side by side. Because I love the Titanic staircase. It's beautiful.
I'd have to see a picture of it.
Yeah, well, if you watch the Titanic movie, you would see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sir. Have you never seen it?
I know, I've been begging him for 5 years. They also placed mosaic floors, and they added countless windows. But despite all of this, Queen Victoria never came, and the Loftus family ended up in great debt. So, moral of the story is don't go making renovations in hopes that a queen's going to show up, because she's probably not. The last Loftus member died in 1890, and the estate was put up for sale because the family was bankrupt. How do these families go bankrupt, I guess because
they spend their money.
Yeah, they spent all their money renovating the hall for Queen Victoria.
Yeah, look at I don't know if it was the last episode was the ship.
Yeah.
They had 500 statues on the ship.
Yeah.
That's easy. 10,000 of a statue. 500 of them. There's $500,000.
They waste their money.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need a full armored knight set sitting in the hallway with holding a battle axe.
And I bet the upkeep on these places is a lot.
Yeah, and I believe that. I used to never really think about upkeep, but after being a homeowner, for a couple years, homeowner keep up on a home is it can get rather expensive if things start to break and you got to clean stuff, repairs need to be made.
It can be a lot.
It can be costly for sure. And a castle, you imagine upkeep on a castle,
especially an old castle that doesn't have any modern things from the 1300s.
Nothing to help it maintain insulation, AC, stuff like that.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, I bet, man. No wonder they go bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. Over the years, the home served as many things. It was a home for the Benedict nuns until 1935. It also served as a school for girls until 1937. And it became a hotel in 1983 when Michael Devereaux opened it. After his wife died, though, he couldn't maintain it and he just left in the night randomly one day.
Okay.
It remained vacant for many, many years, and people conducted their satanic rituals here.
Jeez.
The next owners worked on restoring the gardens, the courtyard, and the building itself, but then it sold in 2020 or 2021. It included 63 acres and private access to the beach.
Oh, that's prime.
It is. And you can't visit this place. I believe the current owners have it as a private place.
Do people still live in it?
I think but the last I saw when I Googled this again was that it sold in 2020 or 2021. I didn't see really any update.
Okay.
So, you may be wondering, why is it considered the most haunted place in Ireland?
I
Because
was wondering that.
other than some battles, nothing really outrageous has seemed to happen. We got to go back to the mid 1600s when Charles Tottenham married Anne Loftus. They had 6 kids together, and unfortunately, Anne Loftus died while the 2 girls were still young. One of the girls was also named Anne. The family was very close to the shore. Like I said, the property has private beach access, and they frequently had visitors stopping for shelter, whether that be from a storm or just to warm up or whatever. Anne was a young woman during this time, and one night there was a very strong storm when a young man stopped for shelter. And he actually stayed for several weeks.
What?
I know. I guess they were nice. Just said, it's all right, honey. Just chill here.
Probably good looking dude. They're probably like, just keep your feet up. Relax.
He might have been a good looking dude because Anne fell in love with him.
Uh-huh.
They frequently played cards in the tapestry room together. But during one of the games, she dropped some cards and leaned down to pick them up. And she noticed he had cloven hooves. She screamed, and the stranger showed himself to be the devil.
You're kidding me.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, what?
He, at this point, became a ball of fire and shot through the roof. And there is evidence of this because you can still see the mark on the ceiling today where he shot through the roof.
What?
Granted, there are some theories about what that mark could be. That's not,
Yeah.
The devil became a ball of fire. But still, there's a mark there that there's pictures of. So I'll post that picture for you.
That is insane. That's so random. Like, why was the devil there?
I don't know.
That's so strange to me.
Maybe the energy there attracted him.
I guess.
Who knows?
That's really weird, man.
After this, it's said that Anne's mental state continued to decline, which I feel like that's reasonable, But it was, the 1700s, so mental health was definitely not a thing back then, and the family was embarrassed of her. So they confined her to her room until she died in 1775.
So she lived in a room until she died.
Mm-hmm.
How long was that?
I'm not sure exactly how old she was.
Was it at least
when she
a
died.
decade or something?
I would think so, because she was a young girl when she met the devil.
Oh my! So she died an older woman?
I believe so.
Oh my gosh!
Mm-hmm.
Just being confined to your room.
That's enough to make you go crazy.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Some people think this tale is made up, and the family wanted to stop undesirables from visiting so that the queen would come, so they made up this tale, I guess, about whatever to try to get them to stop coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work since the queen never came. She probably didn't come because she's like, damn, I'm not going to no place where there's a devil.
No, I would not go there.
Some people do think that the devil was actually a metaphor, though. But then the question is, why was Anne locked up?
It could have been something as simple as she refused to marry a man that their family wanted her to. You think?
Maybe. I mean,
it was we're embarrassed of her. Don't worry, we'll lock her in her room for the rest of her life.
Yeah. Bye, bitch.
laugh like they're serious.
Yeah, they were
And
serious.
next thing you know, they're feeding a tray of beef stew to a 73-year-old woman who's
Oh.
had the same flower bed sheets since she was
Oh
12.
my gosh. Ew. Ew. Some people say that Anne was actually mentally ill and, mental health care was not a thing for many centuries to come, so they didn't know what else to do with her. You were kind of along the right lines. Some people say that a stranger had asked her to marry him, but she refused, and for whatever reason, her family locked her up after that. Others say that Anne was pregnant and they didn't want the shame of her brought upon the family, so they locked her up and hid her. And some people have said that there was actually an infant skeleton found in the walls during renovations.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. Is it true? I don't know, but that's what is said. Anne also possibly died during childbirth, which is very sad because her father denied any visitors, even the doctor, and she died of complications.
That's how she died? Complications of
That's just one theory.
pregnancy? Oh, okay.
That she was in labor and
So what? She died maybe, I don't know, what, like 25, let's say?
yeah, and that's why the infant skeleton was found because
No. But how would she have gotten pregnant if she's been in her room the whole time?
No, listen. Anne had an affair, or well, not an affair because she wasn't married, but Anne was a scandalous girl. She slept with someone, got pregnant, and her family was like, that would bring shame upon us. You are being confined to a room. She was confined to a room. The dad wouldn't let anyone in to see her, not even the doctors, because that would bring shame to the family if anyone knew. And then she died during childbirth. Hence the infant being in the wall.
So she's only would have been locked in the room for up to like 9 months.
According to that tale, yes.
Oh, okay.
This is
But didn't you say she was locked in a room till she was like when she was a young girl?
yeah, but that was the legend. There's a bunch of different possible
Sounds like a
tales.
bunch of bullshit if you ask me.
It probably is.
Sounds like this whole story's bullshit.
Rude.
No.
I'll show you the circle on the roof from the devil, and then you'll think otherwise. This is weird, though. Anne's grave is very strange compared to others of that time.
You still see it today?
I should look that up. It is cemented over. And some people think that was done so that no one could access her body. Maybe they're hiding something.
We could still access it right now.
But not back in the day.
What would be hiding, though?
I don't know. Maybe there was some...
Did they, shoot her in the head?
Maybe they did, because she got pregnant. Or maybe she was going crazy because of the devil, and who knows, man? I don't know.
That does sound, honestly, a little crazy. I wouldn't want anything to do with that.
Nope.
Trust me, I'm not digging her grave up. Trust me.
After Anne died, the house became extremely haunted by poltergeist. Maybe the devil...
Oh, I don't mess with none of that, man. Oh, I don't mess. I move so fast.
Maybe the devil was mad that Anne died. Maybe he, liked her or something.
They're playing cards together, man.
Yeah, maybe he got her pregnant and was mad that they let her die, so he sent stuff to haunt the house.
I guarantee you it's something to do with that, man. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was the devil's baby.
It could have been. Countless clergymen actually came by to try to stop the hauntings, but they couldn't. The family was Protestant, but they were so desperate that they called in Father Thomas Broaders, who was a Catholic priest. So they were really trying to get rid of it, the haunting. And he was able to get rid of it. So, how is this place haunted today? You can lock a door to the bedroom, and see it open silently with a woman passing through. If you lay in bed, you'll feel a very heavy weight upon you, like someone's sitting on you. One of the old owners stated, "There is always a feeling that you are not alone inside." And Thomas Beavis, he took a photo that shows a ghost, like the ghost of an old woman and a girl standing in the doorway. And basically, imagine you're looking at a house, right?
Okay.
And the girl is standing by the front door, sort of with a window next to the door.
Yep.
And she's looking back, over her left shoulder at you. And then in the window, there's a reflection. But it's not a reflection of the girl's back. It's a face looking back out. And no one was in the house at the time of the photograph.
Oh, interesting.
I'll post the photograph as well. You can see it. Well, guys, that's all I got.
Oh, that was interesting. That was very interesting.
Yeah, I thought this place was cool. Just because.
Yeah, I'm interested to see a picture of this place.
Yeah, I'll show you some. And I'll post it on our Instagram so that everyone can see it,
Yeah,
including the ghost photo and the hole in the ceiling thing.
All right.
Anyway, is it time for our hint for next week's episode?
Sure. Let's hear it.
I like doing the hints. I don't know if anyone else likes them, but I like them. Okay. This place is not a house, not a little, building. It's a whole island.
A whole island?
That's like made of 80% human bones.
You're lying.
And if anyone knows this place, they'll know what it is by me saying 80% human bones. I don't know the exact percentage. 80%
is this
might
place
not
in America?
be right. Nope.
Where's it at?
I can't tell you.
Okay, fine.
Just know.
I'll just look at your computer.
Okay.
And see.
Cheater, lemon eater.
No one's ever said that in my entire existence. I've never heard that phrase before.
Well, I said it, okay? Anyway, guys, that's your hint. If you know it, you know it. If not, you'll find out next week. It's a cool place. Wait, next week's Christmas. Is Christmas on
I'm not
Thursday?
doing anything either way.
I work on.
I'm here.
Hey, look, Christmas is on Christmas is on Wednesday.
Perfect. We'll record it Thursday.
I work Thursday. We'll record.
We'll record it.
We'll record it, guys. And if we don't, Merry Christmas. But we'll record.
You're already setting yourself up for skipping another week.
No, we are not skipping another week. We do not have enough listeners to skip.
Listen. The schedules will be better. It'll be better.
Yeah, it's just been a rough time, guys. I don't know if our schedules will get better because I'm getting a new job, which means I'm going to have to be on someone else's schedule for 6 weeks. But then after that, it'll be all right. Our good month is January. It'll be really good in January.
Yep.
We'll be on top of it. Maybe we'll try to record some in advance.
I'll tell you what, there's probably not a single person listening that gives
cares.
a single shit.
No, they don't. Well, guys, thank you for listening. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, let me hear it.
We have Gmail, Instagram, and YouTube. It's all in the description of this episode. We'd love questions, comments, any experiences that you have, recommendations. If you've been there before.
They said it wasn't open to the public.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Don't even know what you're talking about.
You can't go here, but well, if you snuck in, maybe you're one of those people doing the satanic.
Snuck in, but the guy is like brushing his teeth. There's like a grown man somersaulting across the carpet floor. Not happening.
The point is, we'd love to hear from you. We'd also love if you would rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, because that's how other people will be able to find us if you guys do that.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
And it's free.
And then we can quit our jobs and do this.
Sure. All right, guys. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.